Hello everyone, I'm Natalie, and today I'm going to talk about Aries. Aries are just naturally competitive. The thing with Aries is they're always trying to be the best version of themselves. So Aries is the first sign. You're number one. So Aries rules over the first house, and the first house in your chart or in astrology is basically your ascendant. Whatever your ascendant is, that's what your first house is. So we wouldn't have a zodiac wheel if it weren't for Aries. Aries is like the sunrise. That's what Aries is. You are the first sign. You are the first sign of life. And you're a fire sign, and fire is energy, fire is like vitality, fire is just like the life spark in general. So we wouldn't even have life, I feel like, if it weren't for Aries, because Aries begins everything. You begin the zodiac, so you kind of begin life. Aries being the first sign, you represent youth, you represent being young, because it's the first house. That's like how when we come into the world, that's like our initial environment that we experience when we're born. So Aries, that's what you are. There's an innocence to Aries, and some people can even say that they're a bit naive, and maybe in some cases, but it's just that they have this enthusiastic, excitable nature about them. They only see what they want to see. And that's why I feel like some people have a hard time getting along with Aries, because they are stubborn in that way and they can be pretentious. Aries think for themselves, but I guess if you are okay with yourself, you're not gonna have a problem with Aries. I feel like Aries have a natural confidence. You exude confidence. Aries is like the alpha of the zodiac. Male or female, you are the alpha. You are the alpha male, you are the alpha female. When you walk into a room, you light it up. I've noticed that about Aries. You walk into a room and people notice. People look at you because you have a presence. You have a strong, confident presence. And sometimes it could be too much for people, but I mean, fuck them. You don't even care, which is good. That's what's good about Aries, is they just do their own thing. And who doesn't like that? Like, I like that. I like people who think for themselves. And I think that's why I enjoy Aries, because they think for themselves. And people could say that that's selfish, and that's okay. I mean, selfish can be good or bad. With Aries, it's really just confidence. That's really all there is to it. You are sure of yourself. You are cardinal fire. So you are the leader. You're the first leader. You walk and people follow. No one can lead like an Aries can. You have the natural ability to lead everyone with anything, no matter what it is. You can take anything and make it your own, and make it something that people can follow and be motivated by. You're like a bullet leaving a gun. No one can stop you. Think of Leslie Knope if you watch Parks and Rec. I feel like she would be an Aries. But she's like naturally happy and optimistic. That's Aries. They're not like dicks about things. They can be pushy, and it's hard for them to be told no, because they just think it's my way or the highway. I don't know. But that's how Aries thinks. You think that you are number one. You think that you have to be first. And you have a more dominant personality than others. But Aries, I feel like, have a sensitive ego, because it's the first sign, and it's the opposite of Libra. So where Libra is all about other people and partnerships and relationships, Aries is the opposite. So you are all about yourself. But you would think that only ego would make someone like a rock, a rock wall that cannot be broken down. And that's true, but it takes Aries a bit longer than most people to get to that point. Because Aries, being all ego, they can be more emotional than people think. I feel like during the day, Aries can have so much energy and so much happiness and so much optimism. And then at night, they're like, who am I? And Aries are sensitive in that way because they're all just pride and ego, and anything that feels like criticism or feels like hate towards their ego, they take it to heart, and they can take it personally sometimes. And they can act like they don't care, which I feel like when Aries get past that and they kind of mature and realize it doesn't matter what people think, they really don't care. But again, it just takes Aries a bit longer because they're ruled by Mars, and Mars is the god of war. And Mars also rules Scorpio, but that's not Scorpio's natural ruler. So the sign that is all Mars, all energy, all drive and passion is Aries. You are passionate about life. Whatever you have in your life that you care about, that you love, whether it's a partner, a hobby, a job, you put your entire energy into it. You are driven to succeed in anything. And I feel like Aries, because they're like the first fire sign, they're like a little kid that can't stay still. They can bounce back and forth through, passions, through different goals and dreams and desires. But even if they're in one passion or hobby or whatever, focused on one goal, it could change within a month, few weeks, less. No matter what it is, they're still gonna put all of their energy into it, because Aries is all about progress and is about success, gaining something. So Aries being ruled by Mars, they're really sexual. They have a very strong sexual drive. And they always want to be admired by people because they want everyone to think that they're number one. Like they think that they're number one. Aries really do think that they're the best and they're number one. And that's good. That's good for you. That's what gets you going through life, is your confidence, is your ability to pick yourself up and keep going. Really, it's inspiring and motivational. Aries get shit done. They really do. They lead others to also get their own shit done. And Aries can come off as pushy and stubborn and demanding, and I think they're just still stuck in that young mindset, because sometimes they really do think like a kid. They're kind of just young at heart. They're playful, they're excitable, they have a lot of energy, and it's important for you to find outlets to, release that energy, because you have a lot of it. I've never met an Aries who was just they're always everywhere. Even if it's not physically, mentally. So find stuff that'll help relax your mind. The body part that rules Aries is also the head. So it could be your brain too. So their brains just never stop going. They have racing thoughts. And they are prone to headaches, migraines, or head injuries. So be careful with that, Aries. Protect your head, because it's more sensitive than others. Don't let negativity bring you down. And I feel like, honestly, I could say this and Aries are like, I don't. But sometimes you do, because Aries are sensitive. If they feel like anything hurts their ego, it's gonna really hurt them. And that's okay. You should let yourself be sensitive, because sometimes you aren't. Sometimes you just don't care about anyone except for yourself. So just remember, that you have a following, that people look to you for, motivation. People look to you to help pick them back up, because you always seem to do that for yourself. So maybe you can help others learn how to take care of themselves in that way. Even if Aries gets stuck in a rut, I personally always trust that an Aries knows what's best for them. Because Aries, you just are your own person. And Aries is a powerful sign. It really is. Aries have so much power. Seriously, if I was gonna pick my own sign, I would be an Aries, because sun sign Aries is exalted. It's a fucking powerful placement. And if you look at astrology and you don't go by signs and placements that are exalted and like in their falls, that's fine, you don't have to. But you should know, as an Aries or as someone who is studying astrology, sun sign Aries is a really powerful sun sign. You have a strong power. You're like a warrior that will go and fight and defend whatever you need to defend, whether it's yourself or your family or a partner or your friends, your job, your ego, your pride. You will not stop fighting for whatever it is. It's like Aries always has a cause, you're not just walking through life. And if you are, I hope that you can find something to put all of that energy that you have into, because seriously, no one puts as much passion and drive and force into things as much as an Aries does. You are a really strong person, and once you're able to master your sometimes almost immature insecurities, not in a mean way, but kind of, you just go through life as an unstoppable force of energy. I feel like it's always fun to be around Aries. They're always pretty positive. They just like to have fun. They like to get people going. They like to do things. They like to move around. They don't like to stay still. And that's why they're always moving from, goal to goal. And that's good. I mean, you have shit that you're living for in your life. So I feel like as an Aries, you kind of don't need anything from me. I feel like you kind of know, yeah, sometimes you could be immature and sometimes you get a little prideful. But then you'll get over it, and then you can be a really good friend to people, because you really like motivating others to also be the best that they can be. No matter what, you like seeing people happy because you like being happy yourself. So you also motivate everyone around you to be happy. You could be a really good supportive friend in that way, or partner, or whatever, just person in general. Once you get close to an Aries and once you gain their respect and their trust and their friendship, they're really loyal. Just don't betray it. Don't fuck it up. Because once you do, they're pretty much done with you. Even if they're still around, they're not gonna really be the same with you. So just take it seriously when an Aries is like that with you, because they can be really protective and they'll defend you against anyone. If you have an Aries standing in your corner rooting for you, you can accomplish anything, because as an Aries, you yourself can accomplish anything. So that's your Aries sun sign. Thank you for watching.